Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. In this video, I'm going to be talking about arrogance or an inflated ego and how it can often be insecurity that triggers that. So, oftentimes, especially like as you're growing up, you might have had bad experiences, whether that's you're told that you're not good enough or you're bullied or whatever it might be, and these things can then later manifest as trying to overcompensate with arrogance and a big ego. Like you see all these people who, they become an adult and now suddenly they act like they're better than everybody else. But now some people just generally just have a really like distorted view of themselves that they think they're better than everybody else. But oftentimes, this is a defense mechanism to protect their fragile ego because their ego knows deep down that they're not better than everybody else, and they have some insecurities that they need to deal with, and they're afraid to face these insecurities because it requires a lot of inner work, and it could be about having to accept some harsh truths. So instead, they will deal with this with overcompensating, and like it might be, for example, some people who go to the gym, work out to try and get huge, especially the guys who start injecting certain substances into their body to make themselves feel confident, and it can project as arrogance. There's actually a difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence is actually it's a more secure feeling of knowing, being able to kind of, not be having fear of not being good enough. Basically, I'm saying. Whereas with arrogance, oftentimes this is an overcompensated, fake form of confidence that you get from other people's approval. So this is like an ego. This is a facade. It's not real. And so if you're watching this and you feel like you might be a bit arrogant, then it might be worth looking into if you have any like issues that you need to address, because it's not the way to deal with it. There are better ways of dealing with it, like maybe some form of therapy or just doing some introspective work or something like that can really help you to understand where it is that all of this is coming from. Take away all the distractions and just maybe do some meditation, to some just to be able to really kind of really understand who you really are, not this fake version of yourself. It's like you get a lot of these people who tried to become like Tate, for example, and I think he himself had some like deep rooted insecurities that he's trying to use his status as a way to try and compensate for that. And a lot of people have been trying to do this, I believe. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what it seems to be. Because I remember like there was a time where Tate was like, he was quite awkward. He seemed a bit nerdy and whatever, and he got like, like brutally like dumped by somebody. I think something like that, and I think he really like took that to heart, and then he reacted by going super like kind of into like the self improvement or something, but a lot of it comes down to like having a basically an unbreakable form of confidence that is like genuine. Because if you are only confident when other people are giving you approval, then are you really truly confident? I would say not. I made a video about this a while ago actually, and yeah, that most the confidence that you see a lot of the time I think is fake. Especially the stuff like that you get on like social media and what have you. They're projecting this image of themselves not truly who they actually are. Like when people acting like they're, kind of somebody that they're not, then, and I need to work on that as well. And it's, because I've had this sense of like feeling like I need to try and be, better than most people, and this fear of being mediocre and feeling like that would make me a failure and stuff like that. And but I guess a lot of that might even come from like a lot of people on social media where you feel like you're inadequate unless you're living like they are or something. It can really mess people up when they're seeing snippets of other people's lives. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So everyone's only projecting a bit of their life, and we take that as like everything's perfect. So then we look at ourselves and think we're doing something wrong, and that could make us feel inadequate. So that's something else to really kind of look into. Is it that so then we overcompensate with wear some really like pretentious clothing and do all these pretentious things like having a cigar in your hand and just like trying to look like some friggin' gangster or something. It's like, it's pathetic. It really is. It's like you have to learn to become your own person, and that's what a lot of it comes down to, is finding your own unique personality, because then you can just be naturally confident in yourself because you don't need validation of others, because you don't need to be trying to like be like anybody else because you're happy with who you are. That's something you have to learn to be. But first of all, you have to find your identity. Who am I? What am I? What am I here to do? So really have a deep think about these things, and sometimes the answers might come to you without really having to think too hard. Just getting into a state of meditation and just relaxing, allowing your all this mental clutter to just vanish, and you're just left with like just you. Just like your breathing and all that, your body, just like just you. Who am I? Once I get rid of all these distractions. So I'd recommend doing that. Finding a quiet place, no distractions, do some guided meditation or something, and you might find yourself more at ease. You calm your mind down, and then maybe some ideas can come to your head after doing that. When you switch your brain off for a while, then I think sometimes you can still have some after effects from that, so when you do try to like do some introspection and stuff, and you can be a bit more a bit more kind of focused. That's what we need to do. We need to learn to have more focus and stop letting all these external things distract us from who we really are and what we're here to do, and these worries of needing to fit in or to whatever, because that's just going to just crush your soul, is what it does. So yeah, so some people are yeah, arrogant, like I said, yeah, they can be just complete, like, not very nice people, shall I say, to say the least. But we have to try and kind of understand, or try to understand where they might be coming from, like why they be like that, because we all have our different path in life. We all experience different things along the way. I'm not saying there's an excuse for everything, of course, but hopefully it can allow you to understand where some people are coming from, if they're projecting this arrogance, and then maybe we can understand so that we can help them potentially. I'm not saying you're necessarily going to be able to help them all, but like maybe at least lead them in the right direction and be like, I see how you become, and it's like, I'm a bit concerned, and it's like, you're, seems like you may have lost yourself kind of thing. Maybe not say it in an exact way, but like, if you're friends with someone and they just seem to have lost themselves, then you may need to have some conversation with them where it's like you need to kind of, you might feel like you need to kind of just explain how you feel about it all, and that they might have, kind of lost who they are, and because they might have some issues going on, like insecurities that are not resolved. So I think we all have a duty of care that if we have someone that's close to us, whether it's family, a friend, or a loved one or something, that if we're seeing some change in their behavior and we're seeing them turn into some arrogant person, instead of like just walking away, I think that's time where you need to actually like look out for them and actually, of course, if they continue to be like that, then yeah, okay, fair enough. But like, but it's just you gotta be there for each other, and yeah, that if they've gone down the wrong path in life, and it's all focused on making tons and tons of money and all that, then it's like, all you can do is just have a word with them and just get them to like think about what it is they're doing, just plant a seed in them, and then just see what happens, really. But anyway, so yeah, everybody have a great day. I'll talk to you all later. All right, bye for now.